There's an age-old quote when it comes to investing that goes, you need to buy when there's blood in the streets. And I believe that quote was actually appended at some point and added to, and someone also said, you have to buy when there's blood in the streets, but especially when the blood is your own, right? I think that came from one of the Rothschilds. I could be wrong, but I'll have to look that up after this video. But the point stands. You have to buy when there's blood in the streets when it comes to investing. And what does that mean, right? That means that when things are down and the markets are looking terrible and it looks like things are going to go to zero, doesn't matter what it is, it could be stocks, crypto, real estate, whatever, when the bottom is falling through and everything looks like the sky is falling, right, that is usually the most opportune time for you to buy that asset, right? It doesn't matter what it is. Again, and just to kind of personify this and give you guys an example, for example, I like crypto. I really, really, really love crypto. And it's something that I've been very interested in and an investor since around like 2019, 2020. It's kind of when I got sucked in. But long story short, guys, it's been a really, everybody who knows crypto knows that it's very volatile, which is a good thing and a bad thing. But there's a lot of ups and downs. There's no secret. I don't think any other asset class in history has had as much, volatility as crypto. With Bitcoin, especially. So long story short, guys, one of the things that I've been deliberately doing over the past couple years, whenever there is a big dip in the market, I will deploy a lot of cash that I have sidelined into the markets, right? And I'll make another video about the stuff that I like to buy, but that doesn't matter right now. The principle is what matters here. When things are looking very ugly and the markets are terrible, it's easy to kind of have a knee-jerk reaction and be like, oh my gosh, I got to sell this before I lose more money. But the reality is, as long as you believe in the project, and that's the most important piece, right? If you believe that the project is going to be there, the company, the stock, the crypto, whatever it is, if you believe it's going to be there long-term, then you have to hold through that volatility. That's what any seasoned investor will tell you, right? But you don't just want to hold when there's big dips. You also want to be taking big allocations and dumping a lot of your cash that you have into the market during those times. And again, this is not financial advice. I'm not here to tell you guys what to do with your money. I'm just telling you what I've done with my money and how it's paid off and how it's made me, hundreds of thousands of dollars, over the course of me having, these assets, right? And how I plan to, make $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 this in the next, 6 to 12 months with crypto, because I do believe we're going to get another big run up and another bull run. That's another video as well, but I'm super bullish on crypto in particular. But again, the whole point of this video is you have to buy when there's blood in the streets. And this is a basic investing principle that a lot of people just don't know, right? Because a lot of people will see the markets being down and they'll be like, oh my gosh, everything's going to zero. I'm going to sell my stuff at a loss and I'm just going to get my money back. But that's the exact opposite. If you believe in something, you have to double down on that and put even more money into that if you want to win big, because at the end of the day, man, this stuff is a roller coaster. Everything is a roller coaster. Real estate goes up, it goes down. Stocks go up, go down. Crypto goes up, goes down. Albeit a little bit more drastically. But if you're holding on to good assets, they are going to go back up at some point, right? Obviously nothing is guaranteed, but, if you believe in the project long-term, just like I said, you should be taking, a lot of the cash that you have sidelined. And again, this is why it's so important to save the money and, live super cheap and all the stuff that we talk about on this channel, because you'll have cash that you can then deploy when there's big time opportunities like this, right? Whenever the market is going crazy and it's in a bad way, that is when you want to double down and put a lot of money in there, because, things are going to go back up at some point, right? And again, you obviously want to make sure that you're researching this kind of stuff and, building your own conclusions on, what you think is going to happen. But that is essentially one of the things that has really made me a lot of money, and allowed me to help grow my net worth at a young age, and something that I plan on continuing to do throughout the rest of my life and my investing career, because, this is a famous quote for a reason, right? When things are down, look at it like a discount and buy as much as you possibly can, right? When things are up, that's when you should be a little bit suspicious and probably selling off some of your positions so that you're not, as exposed when things start to go down inevitably at some point, right? So anyway, guys, just wanted to share this basic concept with you guys. A lot of you guys probably already know this, but, to some of the people that may not know this, take this to heart, understand, that dips in any kind of market are buying opportunities as long as it's for a good asset. And you want to educate yourself as much as possible on that asset, on the industry, on all kinds of different stuff out there so that you can be able to formulate those conclusions yourself. But again, this is kind of a very simple framework that I've always tried to maintain and, remind myself of when things start going down in terms of the markets, because it's a buying opportunity. Things are on discount, and, if you buy a lot right now and it goes back up, you're going to be able to make that difference and be able to, make a decent amount of money depending upon how much you put in there. So anyway, guys, I hope this video helps you guys out. Let me know in the comments, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.